Hi, I'm Tom Marks with the Marks Law Firm in Orlando, Florida, and welcome to the Healthy Family Law Attorney. So today I have Megan Aldridge as my guest on the channel. She served in Central Florida as an audiologist and a real estate investor and a realtor for the last 22 years. In her spare time, she enjoys as a passion lap swimming, yoga, and clean living. She's gotten her family into plant-based eating over the last couple of years, and she encourages other families to do the same. She's all about healthy eating. How are you doing, Megan?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on, Tom.
Oh, you're so welcome. Glad to have you here. So, I'm a family law attorney. I deal every day with family law clients who are going through very, very stressful times. Obviously, my channel is the Healthy Family Law Attorney, and I'm looking for healthy tips and ways for my family law clients to deal with stress. And you've really done a good job of looking at what are you and your family going to eat? How are you going to maintain your health? How are you going to deal with stress? All of that. So what do you recommend for families to eat?
Yeah, I think that there are a lot of different diets out there that tell you one way or the other, and your goals are different. But when it comes to a family as a whole, I felt strongly, and over the last 2-3 years, I think it's been 3 years now, slowly moved our family from primarily meat eaters to very little meat eating, mostly a plant-based diet. And I have found that it not only helps the kids, metabolism stay regulated and their blood sugars stay regulated, which helps battle all kinds of stress. So not just stress dealing with family law and divorce situations, but the kids are undergoing stress outside of the home as well. And so providing fuel to our bodies that helps put us in a state where we can best handle those stressors, I think is the best choice that we can make. And I don't think it's about deprivation. I think it's about just making healthy choices.
Yeah, I really agree that we should eat whole foods and not processed foods. And some of what I've done to help me, and I've actually lost 65 pounds over the last 3 or 4 years. So I've done it real slowly, made a lifestyle change. I don't really consider it a diet, but I've basically cut out sugars, diet sodas, that kind of stuff. Those kind of, saccharin and aspartame and all that kind of stuff. Use stuff like monk fruit or stevia as a sweetener replacement. And then cutting out, for me, a lot of wheat and breads and things like that. Still love some occasional pizza and stuff, but so that's good. And I probably have reduced my meat consumption, but when I do eat at least red meat, I eat grass-fed, grass-finished, way higher in omega-3s, and just the profile of the food of the meat is so much better. So, but Mediterranean, paleo, a lot of fruits and vegetables, awesome. So what are some of the benefits, Megan, in moving more toward a plant-based diet?
Yeah, I think you really hit the nail on the head with the lifestyle change versus a diet. And I think doing it slowly over time is the way to do it in the least stressful way, because we certainly don't want to add stress to any situation. But I think that taking it from slowly making little tiny changes along the way, the benefits of that is it becomes part of your lifestyle. It's not a jarring deprivation situation where you're craving a pizza. No, I'm not allowed to have a pizza. Yeah, you are allowed to have a pizza. Like, have a pizza. Like, if you're really craving it, if the kids need it, like, get them a pizza. I think it's all about just slowly making choices. And the benefits of that are having the children learn, children are going to eat the way their parents eat, especially their moms. And so being able to model healthy eating and teaching your kids, here's why we're kind of moving more towards plants and less towards animals. And here's why we're going to not do this suddenly. We're going to take some time. And it's an educational experience with your children. That's one benefit. It can be an interactive experience. My children are now 15 and 12, and they're very involved in the cooking. I consider my sous chefs, they chop the onions, they chop the garlic. And while I'm finishing out my workday, they're starting to prep for dinner. And that teaches them skills in the kitchen, and it teaches them cooperation. It teaches them to participate and help them make good food choices in the future when they're left to make their own food choices. So it can be interactive for the family. It can be an educational experience. And if it's done correctly and slowly over time, it can be a lifestyle choice that can feed your children literally their minds, bodies, and their spirits for the rest of their lives.
Right. And I think, in addition to my avocado trees, I have about 50 fruit-bearing trees in my yard. And I think you and your husband were over one time, and I gave you one of my miracle berries.
Oh, yes.
Miracle bush. I wasn't really planning on talking about that, but I just remembered that. Tell our viewers, you took that home and I think gave it to your son.
Yeah. So my 12-year-old, I think he was 11 at the time, because I think this was last year or the year before. And he was so excited because he had learned about miracle berries online on YouTube, and kids learn everything. And he'd wanted to try one. So for your viewers that maybe don't know, it's a miracle berry. You can chew it in your mouth. And then if you suck on a lemon, it still tastes sweet. And or anything sour, it gives it screws with your taste buds a little bit, and it makes things taste different. And that's real attractive to a little kid. And so when I saw that you had miracle berries, I asked you for a couple, and I was mom of the year. And ever since then, he's like, when are you going to see that guy with the miracle berries again? And it's just such a highlight of his day. And so thank you for that. It's a real treat and super fun for kids.
And that's such a fun story. I really enjoyed hearing that. And not just for little kids, but for big kids too, because I love those miracle berries. I'll just mix straight lemon juice, water, and some ice and chew a miracle berry, and I've got like sweet lemon juice. It's amazing.
It's so cool.
So what are some of the issues in the transition? What makes it, what are some of the things people need to expect when transitioning more into this healthy eating and maybe plant-based that you're talking about?
Yes, there are, first of all, like we've already said, to go slowly, because any kind of jarring change, that just adds stress to kids and husbands. I did this, so I'm married and have 2 kids, and I did this over 3 years' time to slowly move us to a plant-based diet. Now, I want to be clear, we're not vegan. We definitely eat seafood and chicken, and everybody's allowed to order whatever they want when we're out at a restaurant. So we are not in any way restrictive in that way. But I think there is still pushback. If you come to your family and you say to the kids, like, listen, we're going to stop eating hamburgers and hot dogs, they're going to probably implode. And so you have to kind of do it gradually. Like, instead of maybe having bratwurst for dinner, I would do like a jambalaya, where it's just kind of sliced up in there and you're getting a smaller portion with your meal, and slowly taking things out, because there is quite a lot of pushback. And we've always made the rule that we eat a certain way in the house, meaning I don't handle a lot of red meat, and we don't eat a lot of pork. But when we are out at a restaurant, like I said, they can order whatever they want. So the occasional dining out experience does allow them to kind of get whatever they want, whatever they've been craving. If they do feel a little bit deprived, we try to make sure. And of course, the football season, you got to order chicken wings every now and then. And that's just healthy living, if you ask me.
Oh, who doesn't like chicken wings? Awesome. So, it's funny. When you and I talked about shooting this video, I was thinking, okay, you're an audiologist, you're a realtor, you're going to want to talk about one of those. And you chose to talk about healthy eating. And I thought that was great. So I don't even need to ask, but I know you have a healthy tip for our viewers today.
Absolutely. I think the best thing to do when it comes to trying to reduce your animal intake and increase your plant intake is to get your family involved. If you fall off course and go a different route for a day, 2, a week, or on vacation, you can always start over the next day. So cut yourself some slack, get the kids involved. And, I should add, I have a Pinterest board with all the recipes that I use. And I have my kids go on the Pinterest board and say, hey, Mom, next week I want, and they pick out a recipe, and letting them get involved that way too. So that's another extra tip, is let them decide what they want to eat, because they'll have favorites. And as you start producing more plant-based meals, them getting to say what they're going to eat gives them a lot of power.
Good point. I know kids don't want to be forced too much into a box, or they may rebel and all that. So it sounds like you've got a good balance there. So for our viewers, if you've enjoyed this, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'm sure Megan would love to hear from you. If you leave that, I'll make sure she gets the question, or if you have an idea for a new guest or for a topic, let me know. I've still got new legal videos coming out every Wednesday and new interviews coming out every Friday. Thanks so much. I appreciate you as a viewer and look forward to next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.